Hello, everybody. It's good to be back. I'm Sarah M. In case you didn't know, you never met me. I'm from Cambodia. I grew up it's in the countryside and have an opportunity to go to college in the city. And while I was in college, a horrible thing happened to my country when the Khmer Rouge communists took over, and they basically destroyed our life, destroyed our country. And I'm forever grateful that God saved my life, where 2 million people did not make it. In 4 years, 2 million people disappeared. But I'm grateful that I'm here. So I was able to publish my book, and here is my book, How I Survived the Killing Fields. And I'm also going out in the community to share my passion. Is the message to encourage and inspire people to keep hope, to stay hopeful, to have faith, to have love, and be resilient. So that's a lot of message that I want to share. So if you ever want to get an inspirational speaker for your event, just reach out to me or Lee, and you can find me at sarahm.com. So back
Thank you,
to you, Lee.
Sarah. Thank you. So I am the other half. I am the co-host of this show. We call it a show, but it's actually a conversation. My name is Lea Tran. I came from Vietnam, born and raised in Vietnam. I got out of Vietnam when I was 16 through the sea route on a crowded boat crossing the ocean, encountered 4-time pirates and 8 months in the refugee camps. And we were known as boat people back in the 80s, early 80s.
Yeah.
So my family have made through, but that was not the end of the journey. That was the beginning of the journey. That the struggle of being acclimated into this brand new country without knowing the language or the culture, and being the oldest, I have to, help navigate my family through life and be a successful citizen, which we did. My message out there is kindness. I want to thank the people who actually took our family in and be kind to us, to all the refugees who came to this country. We are forever grateful. And what I'm doing now, raising my voice after 41 years of telling my story, actually, I told it on the TEDx stage 2 years ago, and that led to open the door for me to take that courage to write my memoir, which called I Did Not Miss the Boat. And I don't want anybody to miss their own boat in life, because we only have one life, and there's no need to settle. You can always do more and accomplish more, and that's where your passion will shine, your purpose will be fulfilled if you know what you want and you know what you can help for other people who are behind you. So today we have Steve with us. Steve is actually my neighbor from the hometown in Pennsylvania. Yay!
Yep.
So I am so happy to have met somebody who actually I know where exactly he located at. Steve got quite a resume, like I have said before. We're going to ask Steve to share with us who is Steve, and if you need to take a break, because Steve is just still recovering from COVID-19, and if he needs a break, feel free to take a break, and let me talk if you want to take a breath. But we'd love to hear about who Steve is and what's his passion.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to be here today. I like talking about the things that drive my heart. And if I was to summarize it really quickly, it would be people. And it would be guiding people into places of success. I have always believed that it's important to surround yourself with successful people, and so that you can glean from them the things that they've done in their lives, which is really great for when someone first gets started. And hopefully at this end of my working career, I am providing that service to young people. So when I got started, my original intent in college was to be an attorney. And I got into business school at the at the Marquette University in Milwaukee. And when I was a freshman, 19 years old, I started working for an awesome organization called UPS, which most people will know, right? And when I got started there, I'm stubborn to a degree. And I remember the first day I went to work, it was 2:30 in the morning. My body wasn't in shape for a physical job. But as I walked in the door there, I told myself I'd never let a job get the best of me. And over that very short period of time, my body got adjusted to doing physical work. And I basically fell in love with UPS, to be honest. Laissez-faireism is a French word that means survival of the fittest. And it's usually used in a business environment. And I always felt when I got started there that this was truly an environment where if you worked hard, you'd be successful. So that's really, all of a sudden my focus shifted. I enjoyed the business part of life. 1 year into the process, I went onto the management team when I was 20 years old.
Wow.
And it was kind of like a culmination of a start I had in my life. And I'm just going to mention a couple of things that are important to me. This goes way back to when I was in 9th grade. We had a really good football team. And our coach made a comment to us as a team at the very beginning of the season that has been with me ever since. He said this, he says, you can't go undefeated unless you win the first game. And the whole point was to value time. Because once it's gone, it's gone.
Sure.
So I've kind of like remembered that. And it also encourages you to put your best foot forward all the time and ride the wave. And I will say we were undefeated that year, by the way. So that was good. And in high school, I had some leadership positions in high school. I was the youth governor of Wisconsin when I was a senior in high school with the YMCA. And that all kind of got me going to when I got into the opportunity on the management side of life at UPS, it just kind of like fit in. And from that point forward, my focus was always on leading people, showing them respect for who they are. And I did that for 35 years at UPS. And I remember when I first got started, my mother, I was at UPS my whole life, business-wise, except I worked in a grocery store for a couple of years before I got started there. And my whole business life was at UPS. And the only check I had of what was going on outside UPS was my mom. Because my mother worked for a company that if I told you, you'd recognize who it was. And she would come home and tell me these things that were going on in that business. And one of my quick conclusions was that I'm not going to do it that way. So I kind of used her as a sounding board to not do those things and focus more on enhancing people and empowering them, et cetera. So it always worked out pretty well for me. I was, as you can probably imagine, one of the youngest supervisors at UPS. So most of the people that worked for me were older than I was. And so I had to deal with that scenario. And it seemed like it was like, you have certain personality traits that seem to fit right in. And that worked pretty well for me. So I was quite fortunate. I worked in the operations area for 4 years while I went to college. And then I moved straight into the accounting function. as a supervisor. So it was my first full-time job at UPS was in accounting. And I was in the business world, I know the financial part of it for,
Did you graduate from accounting?
I graduated in business. Because
Okay,
what happened was I started in accounting, actually.
right.
And then when I got into UPS and enjoyed the whole business environment, I shifted into general business because I wanted to stay in the business school, but I changed schools. I went to University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. And I wanted to be in economics, but economics was in a liberal arts school in Wisconsin. So I had to shift into general business because I wanted to stay there. And so I got a really broad business background. Then as I walked through UPS, it just gave me so many opportunities to put into place and into operations, the things that I had learned. But I didn't realize this until actually I had retired from UPS. I took an early retirement, but I realized that whatever I needed to do all the different jobs that I had at UPS, which covered a huge gamut of information. I mean, I was in operations, I was in accounting in Wisconsin. I transferred 7 times, opportunities throughout my career. I spent time in a region office in Columbus, Ohio. That job prepared me, believe it or not, for when I spent 5 years in Europe because of the nature of that particular type of job, which had a little broader scope to it than running a single office like I did for Wisconsin for a while. But one thing I always learned, and I never ever forgot, and I'm so thankful for this, and that is that no matter where you go, everybody has a heart and everybody wants to do good work, regardless of where you are, regardless of what the job is, regardless of what could be a challenging employer-employee environment, right?
Yeah.
It's still the heart. I mean, I remember, I'm jumping ahead here a little bit. Maybe I'll get back. So anyway, after I spent time in the region office in Columbus, Ohio, I had an opportunity to run an office in Lansing, Michigan. So I was a Michigan State person for a year and was one of my most successful years. And it all came back to the old empowerment thing, where I've always followed one of Ronald Reagan's tremendous themes. Surround yourself with good people and let them do their work. And how do you have good people? 2 ways. Number one, their personal abilities, but then also how you develop them. So you put those 2 things together and then let people prove that they can be successful, sky's the limit. And that's exactly what happened in this particular 2-year period because of this particular role that I had. Because of that, and that was the journey, it took, to be honest with you, an office that was at the lower end of the quality when it came to just performing work, and in 2 years rose up to the top. And it was all because of letting people do their work. And empowerment.
I want to say that it's just so critical when you are telling the story that I see all of that stem from that one sentence that the coach told you when you were in high school playing that game.
Yep.
So I want to mention the importance of how we cultivate young children by being a great model and give them something to chew on. And that sometimes can carry them through life. And the value of not wasting time in the beginning.
Right.
And that's when you were young. And UPS was very early in the stage, and you will be able to take that talent and that business skill to go in and start helping them put this company together. I didn't know how old UPS is. So it's fairly young, I would say. When you started, they just started somewhere in that
Well,
time?
it's been around for 14
Oh,
years.
they're not so young anymore.
Yeah, they started in 1907,
Mm-hmm.
but one thing, UPS reinvented itself many times.
Yeah.
You know, it
But
started
I
out
love
as,
the point. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love the point that you say that
Yeah.
when you, and I love that surround yourself. You know, you're the average of 5 people. Jim Rohn said that over and over. You know, you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself
Exactly.
with.
That's
Yeah.
But I love the part that you're saying that, you know, how do you cultivate that leadership by letting people do? I mean, it's just a two-way relationship, but you have to let go of that control
Yep.
and let them develop their own leadership skill, because or else they're going to need you forever, and it's not going to be a growth for them.
Well, one of the things that I teach people is to create situations that you can prove the success of what you've done.
Mm.
And one of those is this.
Mhm.
One of the tests is what happens if you walk away from an operation. Does it run better without you?
Yeah.
And if
That's
the answer is
critical.
yes, you're on the right track.
Mm.
Because people that rally around leaders want the leader to succeed.
Right.
They don't want the leader to falter. And unfortunately, I have to say this, unfortunately, my first exposure to this type of environment where the boss leaves and came back, and instead of complimenting everybody for what they did right, the first thing he did was try to find something wrong to try to prove the value of him being there. And I'll tell you what, it was ugly. And I swore I would never let it never happen to any operation.
I guess it's a good lesson.
Yeah,
It
good
was.
lesson,
It was-
good observation.
Yeah, it was an excellent lesson.
Mhm.
And so, you know, the further along you go in the management ranks, the further you get withdrawn from the day-to-day work, the more this is important. That you acknowledge who people are in the roles that they have. You know, I remember one of the things going back to UPS was, you know, when you became a supervisor, you now went to work with a shirt and tie on. And the joke was, don't let the tie cut off the blood flow to your head. You know, I mean, you have to remember, you have to remember why you get the opportunities you
Right.
have,
Right.
and never forget them,
Right.
and nurture them and develop them over time. So that what you continue to do is you're just continually taking who you were and moving it to a higher level so that more and more people get the benefit from the experience that you have. And it's a solid winner.
Yeah.
You know,
I love it. I love it. I think the passion about cultivate people, not drilling on the problem.
Right.
You're more developing on the people.
yeah. Let me give you another. There was another one that the guy that started UPS, he and 3 other people, their slogan was this: provide the best service, let the money be the reward. So profits were never a goal. It was a reward for performing the service or products, whatever a company happens to be involved in.
Right.
Do what you're in business for the best you can. Let the profits be your reward, not the goal. And it's always been another winner because you focus on people. You have to.
So you definitely leave UPS a much better place when you retire, because you have probably seen and helped that hand. And when you were in Europe, you were helping UPS Europe grow or establish?
Yeah, what happened was when UPS started its initial international expansion, that happened starting at the tail end of 1988. So I was there from the February of '89 through October of '93. And it was such an enjoyable time because you were taking a mature business and planting it into new fields.
Mhm.
And over in Europe, nobody knew who we were. People in Germany knew who UPS was because UPS had been in Germany since the '70s. but only as a domestic operation, not as the international business.
Yeah.
So when we went over to open up the international side, it was a great education. I was so blessed because went over there as a finance director, and we had 6 finance directors over there, one for each of the 5 countries, and I had everything else. So there was one in the UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. And I had the pleasure of working with all the small countries and touch base with all those different cultures
Mm.
That's
and
amazing.
reinforce the fact it's still people.
Right.
Mm.
And
How did the FedEx affecting you? I mean, you guys, they are the direct competitor. Are they also in Europe launching about the same time you are?
it happened to be that FedEx had backed up from
Oh.
Europe for a while
Okay.
through a choice they made. They didn't stay out forever, but they were gone for a while. So, DHL was the big player in the international arena,
Oh.
and it was only in DHL. I mean, that's all DHL was. You never saw DHL in the US much.
Right.
But when I would go over to Asia and work with the folks in Asia, DHL had a big presence there.
Mm.
So it was UPS and DHL at that stage, and then Federal Express came back into the scene. But I can tell you this: cultures vary, hearts don't.
Sure.
And I remember, be careful what I say here. I remember I covered a lot of different countries, including Greece and Turkey and the Netherlands and Belgium and the Nordic countries all over. And Turkey and Greece were a little bit more of wide open business environment, I'll put it that way. And the relationship I had with the people in Turkey was pretty amazing. And a lot of it came down to this. I heard a statement over there. I can think I'd safely say this. One of the guys in the operation that we did a lot of business with, it was an agent over there, came up to me and made a comment to me, told me about how Turkey's business people can be admired for what they get away with American companies. So I took that and I filed it in my hip pocket. Now my goal was this: what can I do to show to the guy that was running the business, who I respected, that we could work together and do great things? And the opportunity occurred. We took advantage of it, and it worked out great.
Yeah.
Again, coming back to what was important to him, what's important to people, and tapping this thing right here. Hearts matter everywhere.
Mm.
Absolutely.
It's really
My brother-in-law is Turkish, and I've been Turkey many times, and I just absolutely love the people.
yeah, they're
And
great people.
I think that it's just a matter of communication, understanding. We all speak the same language, the language of love, acceptance, and want to be heard. That's the same language. Doesn't matter where you go.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I've had a great business life, and
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome.
yeah, took early retirement and moved into the entrepreneurial side of life.
Now, that is quite a switch, and I don't know how much time we have, because that was just one part of your life, and I am so interested in how we're going from this UPS into legginggirl.com.
Yep.
So where's the connection there?
Yeah. So that was it was my wife's idea.
Okay.
And I remember one day she said, I know I'm running out of time. But she said she started as an affiliate for another legging company. She came to me one day, she says, I can do this. And I said, do what? And she says, I can do this right here. I said, okay, let's do it. And that got started, and it kept going. And that business has evolved into an expanded business where we provide many more products. We make many more products available to our customers through another business that we started. Out of it came Flow Business Solution, which is the one that I'm here representing, and helping small businesses create ancillary revenue streams so that they can, when their business winds down, the ancillary revenue keeps going so they can get paid while they're resting on the beach and enjoying retirement.
So Legging Company is a company you and your wife started up from the ground up.
Yeah. Mhm.
And that is just an online business, or is it?
It's
you have
online.
stores. It's
No,
online.
it's an online store. Shop.
And
Legging
you
Girl.
have production from elsewhere, and then you just sell online. That's it.
Yes, we have, we have some products made for us. So we do have exclusive products. We do have some products that are available in other places as well, but ours is the best place to get.
I just love how you niched right. I mean, it's just like legging. That's it. I mean, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Girls legging. And you can see, I'm going to look at the website. I was like, whoa, the whole gamut of whatever legging you want, there's there. So if you're looking for legging, go into Girl Leggings, right?
Legginggirl.com.
Legginggirls.com.
Legginggirl.com. We have tops and a few other things. And then we have a section called the Legging Girl Mall.
So it's not the product that your passion is. Your passion is to create and help people building from the ground up, any business.
It's people.
Yes.
It's people.
I love
right
it.
now, from a business coaching perspective, I focus on helping companies get themselves in a position where they can enjoy the fruit of their labors while they're sitting at the beach.
So Flow, is that a consultant company, or is that?
Yeah, we do. It's a business consulting company.
Okay.
It's an outgrowth of Legging Girl because that's really got it started.
Right.
And we also are looking at some other things like white labeling our platform as well, because we built the direct sale platform that we have. So there's lots of things going on, but to answer your question, Flow Business Solution is a business coaching business that also helps create ancillary revenue for people, for businesses. Yeah.
Do you have a website for that?
Yeah, it's flow-business-solution.com.
Okay.
Flow Business Solution. It's a singular, not plural, but singular. Flow Business Solution, because we are the solution for many things.
And you work with small entrepreneur or mid-size, or what size, or
To be honest with you, I worked in corporate America, so I can do it anywhere.
Okay.
But right now, we're focusing on small business and getting them up to places of success. I just love the small business world since I've been in it.
Well, especially COVID, it's probably a
Yeah.
lot of people
Yeah.
are starting up.
Yep.
So do you consult with any particular industry, or brick and mortar, or things that, any particular industry that you're catering into?
This may sound like a really broad answer, but it doesn't matter
No.
because of the common thread in every business.
Right.
People.
Right.
It's people.
Right.
So every time I get a chance to work with a business, I learn the business.
Mm.
Okay? I go in, I learn the business, and then I step in and provide recommendations to the people that I work with.
That's true.
So, yeah.
That's true. I mean, trade skill can be learned, but
Yes.
people skill is much harder.
It is more valuable as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think definitely your purpose in life has shined through from what you do and what you are continuing to provide for people that who are behind or younger or have no experience in that. So for that, I thank you. Thank you for coming up here and share with us.
It's a pleasure. It's nice to be able to take something that took me 35 years to gather and can be handed off to somebody in a whole lot less time.
Right. Well, if there's a one or two advice that you can give to people that who are thinking about starting a business or already starting a business and stumbling and not know what's the best beside investing in people, what is one thing or two things that they could use to get them ahead of the game?
An important thing that entrepreneurs need, every single one needs three things. Number one, passion. You have to
Yep.
have a passion for what you're doing, or you'll never get through
Absolutely.
the hurdles, because the hurdles will come because of business
Right.
cycles, changes in markets, etc. That's number one. Number two, you need a business model to support the passion.
Right.
You can't sell leggings without a business model to support it. Okay. And number three is this: you need a business plan to get you from where you are to where you want to be. So three things: passion, a business model, and a solid business plan to give you the roadmap to go forward.
What's different between a model and a plan?
A model is like a platform. It's like a
Mm.
structure.
Okay.
The plan is the tactical part of implementing the model.
Okay.
I think that's an easy way to
Okay.
express it.
Right.
And the thing is, the model can be the same when the plan changes, just simply because of changes in the market.
Right. Yeah. I mean, how you operating things when COVID hit, you gotta know how to pivot real quick, real fast.
Yep.
Because you can't wait on people to come to the store anymore. You just have to learn how to sell online or networking or in Zoom or whatever.
Exactly. Yep. It's all good.
Yeah. So these are all valuable information. And I want to say passion. A lot of time people don't really understand passion, but I have digging into the word passion, and then tell me if I'm wrong. Passion is you love something so much that it can suffer you and you still continue to do it because you love it so much.
Exactly. It's the thing that takes you through the challenges.
Right.
It's kind of like this. I use this as an analogy. Everybody runs up against walls. You have a couple of options. You can climb over the wall, it's still there. You can run around it, it's still there. Or you can tear it down.
Mm-hmm.
It's the passion tears down the wall so that you can move on to the next level.
Get the hammer.
That's right. Whatever it is. Whatever it is.
Get the hammer and knock that wall
And
down.
And I'll give you one more. At the moment, I'll give you one more.
Okay.
Everybody needs to recognize what their weaknesses are.
Mm.
Nobody knows everything. And I know everybody knows that, but they try to function like they do know it all. So surround yourself with good people, glean from what people know. If someone's successful at something, don't reinvent the wheel, throw some grease on it, take advantage of it, and take it to the next level. We all have the opportunity and the responsibility to take things to the next level.
Right.
Because nothing ever remains the same.
I love it. And I think, sometimes people need to invest in the mentor, the people that, gone ahead and fail, and you can learn from their mistake. Take a shortcut because somebody already fall for you and be able to draw out the map so you can go quicker, faster. And I always think that there's so much, surround yourself, definitely the biggest ticket, because if you are surrounded with misery, you're going to end up with a lot of misery. But if you surround yourself with success, you're going to inspire yourself to be successful. So thank you so much, Steve. We really appreciate your time here with us. And I've learned quite a bit about you and about your passion. And we hope that we will hear more from you in the near future.
It's a pleasure. Trust me.
We have a lot of entrepreneurs in our group. So this conversation can benefit a lot of our members.
We appreciate the knowledge, the wisdom that you share with us, and help building UPS to a place that is just really well recognized. It's not an easy task, and launching Europe, that's something that I'm sure that you have lots of story to share and to tell. And we really appreciate you.
It was a great time. I enjoyed it.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, thank you everyone for listening, and we will see you on Thursday.